Bruce, cheers for coming on for this episode of the podcast that I'm doing. It's good to have you, man.
Well, thanks for having me. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
yeah. Could I ask real quick? Is Bruce actually your genuine first name?
No, no,
Okay.
no. It's just been a nickname I've had for a very long time. So I'm kind of like Batman, where I'm used to being called Brute more than my real name.
Oh, it's I don't know. It's deadly. Like I mean, it just it
It fits. It works.
really does. I mean, I've seen some of the live streams and games that you've been playing with the irregulators and even just some of the solo stuff like the Indiana Jones live streams you were doing not too long ago. Um, so can you tell me a little bit about yourself and maybe how you kind of, I guess, started into streaming and then kind of getting involved in the Red Dead community?
Um, well, probably like a lot of people, the whole streaming thing started from the pandemic.
Hmm.
At the time, I was working overnights at a gym. So my job got shut down real quick. Um, so it was just happened that Red Dead 2 was on Game Pass, and my wife goes, "Oh, you should play this game. You would really like it." And I was just kind of looking for something, so um, I started playing it and got obsessed with it real quick.
I can
Um,
kind of tell with like everything in the background in the room. I see all the rifles and the skull on top.
Yeah, so kind of like a I guess more of a deep dive into my like history and upbringing. I'm from a small town in central New York, and we're very blue collar redneck people. My old man was
Mm.
a truck driver. My mom was a stay-at-home mom for most of my life, and then she went back and started working in a pharmacy when she after my two younger sisters got a little older. But it's all country bars, country music, camping, fishing, hunting. We have two main roads and stuff like that. And being a kid, I'm old, so being a kid, we had excuse me, growing up, we had like one TV in the living room. So when dad came home, it was like, we're watching what dad's watching, and that was usually John Wayne movies and Clint Eastwood movies. So I grew up watching a lot of westerns. And probably some of the best memories I had with my dad was watching those movies. Big Duke fans and stuff like that. So, and also as a kid, the Wild West was like my favorite era. I was like really obsessed with Billy the Kid, because I was like so interested in like his whole Robin Hood mythology that I learned about back then. So it was always like my favorite era. I'm a big history guy. I love history, and the Wild West was always my favorite. So playing Red Dead 2 like really tapped into it. Um, and then a couple years later, my dad passed away, and I kind of like dived into it even more. Because like, watching Westerns was like my way of like connecting with him still. So yeah, it just became a whole like embracing a part of, who I was. So and now I just recently bought my own home, so now I can do stuff like this, and
It's
this just
cool.
kind of makes me happy and stuff. So but yeah, it started like with the during the pandemic is when I started playing Red Dead 2.
Hmm. No, I love the whole connection. I mean, if I was kind of relate, I have a big interest in say like World War II.
Mm,
My grandfather was in the Second World War and he passed away when my dad was only 6 years old. So like kind of similar with you, my dad was always big into like kind of watching like Saving Private Ryan or
yeah.
on the PS2 like playing Medal of Honor Frontline, and that was kind of my connection.
Mm,
Um, but yeah, I remember I used to grow up watching spaghetti westerns as well. Like, there's just something nostalgic about
mm.
all of them. And even then, like I was the other day, we were just watching Tombstone, and I just couldn't help but notice how like a lot of the characters in it just kept reminding me of different Vanderlyn cast members.
Yeah.
I've forgotten the leader of the bad gang in the movie, but he looks a lot like Dutch. Um,
Curly Bill, yeah, played
yeah,
by uh what was his name? Powers Booth. Yeah, he's also in Deadwood. But yeah,
Mm.
dude is spitting image of Big Ben. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. But yeah, there's a lot of westerns you can watch. If you ever watch the remake of 310 to Yuma, like there's a Charlie Prince. He's just Micah. He even dresses like Micah. Well,
Oh
Micah
wow.
dresses like him.
Mm.
Um, yeah, and then uh the main character there is I always forget the actor's name, the dude from Gladiator. But yeah, he's just Dutch. Like, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that you watch, and if you watch Django Unchained or the assassination of Jesse James, like you will see scenes from those movies that are straight up in Rockstar. It's or in Red Dead too. So yeah, you see a lot of it in a lot of things.
There's a lot of inspiration. I just love
Yep.
it. I guess that's why a lot of people connect with Red Dead because they've seen
Hmm.
all these films
Oh yeah.
and media, and that's just kind
Yep.
of like their immediate connection.
Yep.
Um, I remember actually Red Dead 1 is kind of like one of the first main games I remember getting my dad into as well. And I remember when Red Dead 2 came out, I gave him my old Xbox One, bought him a copy of it. I was like, sit down and play this. And
Yep.
I think he's probably playing it right now. Like
Yeah.
he just consistently loves it. But
Yeah.
with with your streaming then, how did that kind of start to kick off during COVID?
So the streaming kind of came in towards the end, because like it was never really anything that like I ever really thought about. Um, my wife is like was super big into like watching Twitch streams and Let's Play. She watched a Let's Play of Red Dead 2 while I was in Japan. So she already watched it and she liked it. She wanted to watch me play it. So she told me there was an online with it, and I immediately just assumed it was going to be like Halo or Call of Duty. It was just going to be like, PvP stuff. So I wasn't really interested in it because I'm not really into that sort of stuff. So I just remember one night I was like sitting on the computer doing something, and I turn over and I see my wife making a character. And I go, wait a minute, what's this? How are you making a character? She goes, it's online. I go, you get to make a character? She's like, yeah, it's kind of like, GTA. And I immediately like kicked her off so I could do it because I'm like, oh, I want to make myself a cowboy. Like, get out of the way. I want to do this. So I started playing Red Dead Online and, making a character that looked like me and stuff. And I forced my friend to buy the game so he could play it with me, and then he was kind of talking about it. My wife was talking about it. I'm like, all right, well, let's see what happens. And then I just started out streaming from my Xbox, and then I was like, oh well. Once I found out that like a lot of people, like once I started watching other people stream, a lot of it was like, oh, let's rate somebody, but I'm going to rate somebody who has a camera because I want to see the reaction. So it's like, okay, well now I got to get a camera. How do I get that? Oh, I got to get an Elgato. So now I got to get OBS and, just taught myself how to do everything and, just started doing it from there. And I'm kind of a guy who likes to dive into everything. I like to not just be a fan of something. I like to be a part of something. So, I can't exactly, well, I do it more now, but I couldn't exactly go outside dressed as a cowboy and shoot stuff. And so I was like, oh, the next best thing is streaming the games and stuff like that. So I was like, this is going to be my way of being a part of it. So I just, like I said, I taught myself how to do it and just started streaming it in front of like nobody, just me and my wife. And every now and then people would come in, and then just tried building a community over the years.
I know you run a group called the Irregulators.
Mm.
What's the origins of that? How did that kind of kick off?
So, when I first started streaming, I would just stream nothing but Red Dead Online, and 3 times a week, sometimes four. And then there was like a community of people. There's a streamer called Wanted Wombat who was like the godfather of the Red Dead streaming, Crimson Penguin, and there was a few others that I can't even really remember, sadly. But once after Blood Money, once everything started going downhill, people started like branching out into other games, and most people just left Red Dead altogether. So I was kind of left with just me doing Red Dead and not a big audience for it. So it became kind of tough, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, you should probably be a variety streamer." I'm like, "No, I just want to yeehaw." So I'd play other Western games, and stuff like that. But I never really left the genre. Indiana Jones and Fallout New Vegas are like as far away as I got, but like I try to play stuff that has the spirit of the West, sort of.
Mm,
So um it's kind of started at Tombstone at the event. I met some people. They started watching me, and then at Deadwood, I met even more, and they started watching me. Um, I used to have a Discord, but it was dead, so I just stopped using it. And then they're just like, "Hey, we should have a Discord." I'm like, "Well, I do have one." So that started kicking off, and then um, I'd make my wife slash she would want to play on Fridays she would play Red Dead Online with me, and then the people I was close enough to, they started playing with us on like community streams on a couple Saturdays a month, and then it just turned into them playing on Fridays. And originally, like my go-to posse name was the Brute Squad, Princess Bride reference, um, and that was like my posse name because that's what I call my community is the Brute Squad. And then I can't remember how it came up, but like we have the Brute Squad, but then like there's an inner group in the Brute Squad that like I'm real close with, I'm real tight with, and we're like, oh, we need a name, and just as a joke, because Billy the Kid, they were the regulators, and we're like the misfits. We're all like socially awkward or something like that. We're all irregular, like. So I was like, oh, I said it to my wife as a joke. I was like, we're the irregulators. And then I kind of like mentioned it to them and they all loved it. So we just called ourselves the irregulators
that's
and it just kind
perfect.
of went from there. Yeah.
Actually, that's I got to meet you briefly in Deadwood, and I only really got to kind of meet you and some of your posse through Erica.
Hmm.
Was she picked me up at the airport in
She's a
Rapid
delight.
City.
She is an absolute delight. Shout out to Erica. He has the
She's,
chats for Erica. She is a special breed. She is an absolute delight.
she's an amazing person. I just so happened to be on the same flight coming from Chicago, and I was just asking to see is anyone going to this, and she had rented a car and was like, "You need a lift? Yes, yes, please." And then I remember I was drinking in Saloon 10, and I was about to leave, and she noticed me, and it was, "Hey, some of us are having food upstairs." So then from there went up, and I got to meet Jenna, um, Javi, and Shaniqua. And then that was kind of the start there, and I got to meet more and more. But I mean, yeah, Deadwood was just great, just getting to meet all these fans of this game, and just as you said, like everyone's a regular, everyone was just like a misfit or odd, but like we were all
Yeah.
fucking misfits and odds, so it was like it just kind of
Yeah.
was just a massive group of misfits
Mm.
just kind of clinging together, and
Yep.
I love that atmosphere.
So did I. Yeah. Absolutely. That's what I loved about it the most with everybody is, I met them through the events, I met them through online stuff, met them through other people, and it was just like, um, thankfully there's a few of them who, said like, they felt more comfortable since, joining the community or being a part of something. They felt comfortable being themselves. They've come out of their shell. They like having a group of people they know they can be themselves around, and it helps them like, grow and make those connections. And that's what I really love about the community the most is like Rockstar Games, like their community can be real toxic and real awful, and you're gonna find a lot of that
Yes.
and a lot of stuff. But you're gonna find those people who are just want to watch the world burn and stuff. But there are a lot of good in there, and people who are just like have a connection to the game, have a connection to the characters, find real stuff with it, and then you share that with other people, and then you go from just being a person who love the game to being a person who love the game with like-minded people, and it's really something special to see and be a part of.
Just as you said with like the community, like it has been over the years has been very toxic, and even with GTA,
Yeah.
like I kind of got out of the Red Dead community for a while, and I remember I was working on some of the machinima videos I was doing, and then it just randomly came up on my feed of the the Awesome Show with Candace and Aaron, or the
Mhm.
Totally Awesome Show,
Yeah.
and they had Rob and I think Ken on as well, and they were
Mm.
talking about Deadwood. So that was kind of my first hearing of these events. I did hear about Tombstone prior, but I didn't know that they were planning on doing a second one. Um, but yeah, I don't know, man. It was just nice being able to kind of find good people in the community. Like as you said, I guess not everyone wants the world to burn on
Yeah.
on Red Dead Online.
Yeah. I was on that video. They asked me to come on. They asked me and Ma to come on because they I can't remember how, but somewhere along the lines, Ma and I became friends with Candace and Aaron. I think it was just Tombstone Fallout. I think, they were there. We never really met them or talked to them in Tombstone, but we kind of like started talking after. There's some of the aftermath, and we started talking to them and became friends. So when he did that thing, it was like, hey, we want to get like an attendee, a fan perspective. You want to come on and talk about Tombstone and Deadwood and stuff, and getting in with those guys is a real good in. But you know, again, it was just a connection, a friendship, a relationship made, and it's just weird how that happens.
I noticed actually you guys for the irregulators. I didn't watch the video, but I saw the thumbnail of you did like a memorial thing for Val
Mm.
Kilmer.
Yeah.
Um,
Um, one of the things I love doing, like with the Irregulators and Red Dead Online, with it being a quote unquote dead game, is I love trying to come up with events and specials and whatever I can do with the game. And Tombstone is my favorite movie. Hands down, is my favorite movie. My wife and I, we make sure we watch it at least once a month. So every time, so
it's
it's
a
like, oh, it's
fix.
time. Yeah, yeah. Like I
That's
keep
cool.
track of all the movies, all the westerns I watch in total and for the year. So like Tombstone always have like a parentheses with how many times we watched it in it. Um, we watched it last night actually, but for Val, but no, we absolutely loved Val. We loved Doc. My wife has had like a chronic illness all her life, so she like connected with Val's portrayal of Doc and him being a sassy sick, dying man. So, hands down was always her favorite, and I always loved him too. There is no other Doc Holliday than Vale. So, when he passed away, I was like, well, we got to do something. So we did the Discord thing where people shared their Doc outfits, and we all dressed as Doc, and I was like, oh, well, it could be something cool we can do. I was like, well, we can pretty much do the Tombstone walk. We can start from the sheriff's office and walk to that corral by the barn, like the OK Corral. Then we just disbanded the posse, and we just stood across from each other, and then I just went, "Oh my God!" and then we just started shooting each other. So it was like an absolute blast. So, it was our way of like honoring Val and thanking him for like the greatest like character in cinema history.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You were mentioning before I brought that up the with Candace and Aaron. Um, now that I think of it, you're actually getting all the irregulators together for Tombstone this year.
Yeah, yeah. So, um, without going too much into it, that just unfortunately the event this year, a lot of people felt burned or turned away by what was going on, and my wife and I, we always use these events as kind of our one big trip, and we kind of counted it as like our anniversary trip. And this one happened to be taking place like a week after our actual wedding anniversary. So we're like, okay, we're gonna do a big wedding anniversary there. Someone in our community, their birthday is that weekend. So it was gonna be this big thing where we're gonna celebrate a birthday, we're gonna celebrate an anniversary and do stuff like that. And then when everything kind of went down, we're just kind of like seeing the fan reaction to it. And a lot of people are like, well, I'm not really comfortable going. It's a shame. I really wanted to go. I've always wanted to go to Tombstone. Some people are like, "What am I going to do now? Like, I already bought my plane ticket. I bought my hotel. Like, what
Mm.
am I going to do now?" And I didn't want to leave the community feeling high and dry or left out or anything. So the only thing I could do is being like, well, we're still going. Like we plan on going regardless. And I was going, I was saying Ma and I are going. A friend whose birthday, they already got their Airbnb, they were set, and they're a huge Tombstone fan. They weren't at the first one, so going to Tombstone is a huge deal for them. So they're not gonna not go. We can't change the weekend because we're locked into a lot of stuff. So I was like, look, like I know some people either still want to go or are locked into going, but you've been burned and you don't want to support this event. So we'll still be there. And I can't, put stuff together. I can't, there's not going to be actors signing or whatever, but like we can meet up and we can talk if we're like, hey, if you need someone else to hang out with, if you're like, hey, I'm gonna go to the Boot Hill Cemetery at this time, I don't want to go. Or if you're at lunch and you see the other people, you can, say hi and talk or whatever. I just wanted people not to feel left out and still be part of a community event where you're walking around, you're seeing other people, you're making the relationships, you're taking pictures together, you're going and doing stuff together, even if you're not quote unquote being part of the event that's going on there, if you're not purchasing tickets or whatnot. If you're still going to go, there's still a community there, and it can still kind of feel like a big deal because there's like-minded people there to talk to. There's like-minded people there to do stuff with. And that's a big thing is meeting up with people, taking photos. A lot of people like doing the cosplay or uh, live historian recreations and
Mm.
taking fun little videos or nice photos or something. And you're not alone. There's other people there. A lot of people are going to dress up. A lot of people are going to do stuff. So let's come together. Let's meet up and we'll hang out. Everyone could do their own thing, but everyone will be there to be like, hey, does anyone just want to meet up and go here and do this? Or, hey, we're going to be hanging out here for a while if anyone wants to come and, say hi or whatever. It's just something so people don't feel left out and alone.
Well, as someone who, when I went to Deadwood, didn't go there with the intention of actually getting to meet new people and then
Mm,
getting to meet most of your lot and other people that were kind of that knew each other. It's very embracing
mm,
of a community, and I'm definitely going. I've kind of locked in now, so
yeah.
I'm yeah, no, I'd be because I haven't been to Tombstone. I wasn't at the first one, so I have been in Arizona once. I
Mm.
visited Vegas and we went to the Grand Canyon, but I've never been in Tombstone itself, so I'd actually really wanted to go this year and get to meet everyone again. So I'm hoping most people still go, regardless of everything as you said that's kind of gone on. I remember hearing about some of that, and I don't know. For the most part, I kind of just want to go to that westerny feeling again,
Yeah.
get to meet great people, chill out, get food, drink. Um, just yeah, it was great. And even like last time, I remember getting to meet the actors and stuff. I mean, I have all my autographs and stuff kind of done, so I don't really need to, wait in line for 8 hours like as it was in Deadwood.
Yeah, Tombstone, like as a city, I felt was a lot better than Deadwood,
Hmm.
personally. Um, Deadwood was fine. I felt Tombstone was more welcoming. I'm not saying they were 100% arms wide open, but by the end of the first day, they were more so because they're like, oh, snap, these guys are making a boom in our economy and stuff. Hey, come on in, come on in. I I did never had a really bad experience. There was one woman who kind of rubbed me the wrong way. She kind of gave me a backhanded compliment or whatever, a little dig without trying, but I was like, that was mean. But other than that, everyone was super great. And the history itself, I felt, is more historic. You walk in, and just being there, you feel like you're part of history. You feel like you're in Tombstone. You feel like you're in Red Dead. Whatever it is, you walk in, you feel that way. I felt I had to find it and search it out in Deadwood. Deadwood was more touristy, which I get. Um, and a lot of people did not want us there. I almost got into a fight with a bouncer at a at a convenience store because he was shit talking everybody.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
he was one of the bouncers from Saloon 10. He was like he was cashing out when I was standing behind him, like in my cowboy outfit. And he's talking to the dude, and he's like, "Oh, this event is so stupid. It's some dumbass video game, bunch of fake ass cowboys walking around, and I got to work and do this. I can't wait till they're out of my fucking town." And then he kind of looks over his shoulder, and it's like this short, stocky dude, but he looks over his shoulder, looks up at me, he goes, "Anyway, I got to get going." And I'm just like, I was like, "Motherfucker!" I was like, "We're across the street." Sorry, I don't know if I can swear on this thing. I
Oh yeah,
apologize,
no,
but I was
you
like,
absolutely
"Okay,
can. I've already swore like two or three
okay."
times already.
Sorry, I was whenever I do these things, I always end up swearing. I'm like, "Can I do that?" Um, but yeah, he just like I just like glare at him. I'm just like, "You're welcome for all the money, you son of a bitch," and stuff like that. But yeah,
I had a well, a small bad experience in that. Do you know the other Saloon 10, the fake Saloon 10 across the road? Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, there was like a second one. I just remember ordering a drink and giving your one like $20, and she just gave me back like $5 or something. I was like, "Oh yeah, $10 tip," and then all I hear is a couple of lads laughing down the bar. I just drink it, and I never went back into
Mm,
it. Just went the other, the actual Saloon 10 was just much better service behind the
yeah.
bar.
Yeah, we went to that I can't remember what it was. Went to that one uh restaurant that was God, what was it called? I don't remember, but it had like the chairs of like the horses' asses and the women's and
Oh,
underpants and stuff.
it was right across from Saloon 10. It
Yeah,
was like a
yeah.
steakhouse.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
we went there and it was a group of us, and we had Shaniqua, was from England and stuff. So we sit down, she's eating, she's like looking at the menu, she's like asking questions, like, "Wait, what is this comes with what?" She's not used to American sized stuff,
Slang.
and she's like,
Mm,
"Wait, so I get a salad with this? Why do I get a salad?" I'm like, "I don't know, this food comes with a salad." So the waitress is just like, "Well, what dressing do you want?" And Shaniqua's like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "Well, do you want ranch, blue cheese?" She's like, "What is that?" And the one's like, "Haven't you ever heard of a salad?" And my wife goes, "She's from England. She doesn't know what ranch dressing is." So like this woman was like giving her an attitude because she didn't know like what some of this food was because she's not from around here. And we're just like, hey, like she's not from around here. Can you just like take a chill with her? And she doesn't understand how this works. Can you just explain it to her like a good waitress would? And then like Erica, she wanted to join us because she was late, but um we were sat at a small table, so we're like, "Well, Erica, come in, we'll figure something out." So they moved us to a bigger table, and the woman's like, "Well, what's her problem?" I'm just like, she didn't want to make a scene, she didn't want to make an issue, she was afraid. I was like, "Could you just cut her some slack?" So it was just Deadwood was we didn't feel welcome, and
mm.
I would go into places and I would try to get pictures of like stuff from like Bullock, and every time I try to take a picture of something, there's like a neon light from a slot machine reflecting in it. It's like because there's slot machines everywhere.
There
I'm
was
trying
like
to
about
take,
five casinos in the
yeah,
place.
it's
Like,
yeah. Everything is a casino. Every restaurant, every hotel, everything is just slot machines. And I know why. I know they passed the laws to like get more money to restoration to make it like a historic town. But you could tell it was just like it's a biker town first and a western town second.
mm,
And so I didn't really I didn't really like the vibe. I didn't like I didn't like how washed out the history was. I wasn't feeling it. It had its pluses, I guess, but there's far too many, and that's not even all of the negative experiences.
mm.
Mustang Sally's, we had an awful experience. Um, in the Bullock Hotel, they kept shutting down early, so we couldn't go in there because Steve, Bill Williamson, he was really interested in the Bullock because he's really into like ghosts and stuff. So he wanted to go in the Bullock bar and see stuff. But we went in there one night, got along great with the bartender. There was a couple fans in there who were being obnoxious and stuff, so we apologized. We tipped her good. We make sure we cleared out so she can close on time and stuff like that. But we went back every other night, and both bars were always closed, and you couldn't go in there at like 9 o'clock. And we're like, it's fucking Deadwood. Why are you
N
closing the bar at
Nine
9?
o'clock?
Yeah, it was like super early,
Oh God.
and it was yeah, it was there was no one in the bar. Lights were
I
off. The downstairs was roped off. You couldn't do anything.
I remember the last night when we all were up at the balcony with all the actors, and then we were starting walking down the street. And the Irish bar was the one went to first, but it was closed. And then we went to the
Mm.
bar across from there. And you were filming that video with Roger. It was meant to be like the fake wrestling one or like a fake fight or something. And in the
Yeah.
back room, that was kind of funny.
Uh, Roger, man, he found out once he found out I was a pro wrestler, it was floodgates are open, man. He loves that pro wrestling stuff. So he was just like, or he was like, "Hey, man, you should choke slam me through a table." I'm like, "Roger, I'm not choking slam you through a table." Um, but he just got really real excited about it. But yeah, it was just some fun little thing we're filming in the back to have fun, and um, but you know that was a crazy night.
Mm.
Yeah.
When I had Ken on this podcast a month or two ago, and he told me like how stressful it was even trying to set it up. So like as you said, it definitely gave the vibe like it was like they had their Western history by the balls and
Mhm.
like were just I don't know. They didn't. I feel like more people like us going there and trying to learn about it and embracing it.
Mhm.
And then it just kind of fell a little bit flat. But
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
still a good experience. Like I still
Yeah,
enjoyed
it
it.
had its moments. But like the museum, like the when you go in there, it's supposed to be like donation only or whatever, and you donate whatever. So we were gonna go in there and donate a couple bucks, but we got in and the guy was like, "Nope, it's got to be like $10." And we're like, "The sign says like donations only. Like you can't tell us what to donate. You're charging us a fee." So the guy's like, "Nope, you're not coming unless you pay this." I'm like, "That's not how donations work, man." But like I said, you had to like seek it out, and I think a lot of people had more fun like outside of Deadwood, like going around places. I wish we could have done more stuff with the Black Hills and stuff, but um, no, it's just it wasn't there. And you go to Tombstone, and like people are dressed up, and you know. I follow a lot of stuff about Tombstone, and people just go there and just dress up, and they're okay with it. They love it. They love when people come in and talk about the movie. They love when people come in and recreate stuff. They absolutely they love it and they welcome it. Um, and it was just more of a welcoming experience. I We went into a clothing store in Tombstone, and we're walking around. The guy's like, "Hey guys, how you doing? Hey, how you guys having fun? Thanks for being here. Oh yeah, this is over here, this is over there." And he was just like so happy and all
That's
this
so
stuff. And
cool. Oh my
yeah,
God.
yeah, like a lot of great experiences. I was talking to some. I went to the t-shirt store. That used to be the pool hall where Morgan Earp was shot, and you can go and it's got the sign. It's like Morgan Earp shot right here, and then it's like right above a bunch of like girls' pink t-shirts or whatever now. Um, but we're cashing out, and we're like, hey, how's everything going? Because we're trying to be super nice to everybody because we get there's 10,000 people there and people are overworked. But we're just like, hey, how's it going? She's like, oh, it's been busy, but it's been great. And we're just like, well, you guys been doing good business. She's like, oh yeah, we've been making a lot of money. Things have been great, and love having you guys here, and blah 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 blah. But so I think even if you're not planning on going to the event, like everyone, if you're a Western fan or Red Dead fan, you got to go to Tombstone. Like, don't let anything that happened sour you, whether it was a personal experience or something you heard. There is so much in Tombstone, and my wife and I, we were there for three or 4 days, and I never got to go to Boot Hill Cemetery. I never got to see a shootout, the OK Corral. There is so much stuff there that I still want to do, and I've already been there before. So going back, I'm like, well, I got to go to the Boot Hill. I got to do the shootout. I have to do. We did a solo tour of the birdcage, which was great, but we want to do like an actual ghost tour. So there's just so much stuff to do. And if you love the game, if you love the era, if you love the Wild West, like you're gonna have a ball there just being in the town by itself without an event.
I'd definitely like to be hanging around with the group. Definitely, maybe have like a planned, maybe closer to time. If for the irregulator group, maybe have like a schedule for okay, this day we'll go see the OK Corral shootout, or this day we'll do this as a
Yeah,
group. I think that could be cool.
I think something like that could work if like each day we're there, we can just like, hey, here's going to be the big meetup for today. At this time we'll be here doing this, or hey, we're gonna go and do this at this time, and who's gonna join. Yeah, I think we could do something like that. Like I said, I don't want to like take up too much people's time and make them think like they can't do their own thing,
Mm.
stuff like that. But I think a mixture of people doing their own thing and doing those meetups, I think that would be something fun to do. As we get closer, I'm gonna try to look into more stuff and be like, okay, here's the times that they do the shootouts. Here's the times that they do this, and yeah, definitely, I can like we can try to come up with like some sort of fun schedule where people can look forward to stuff and meet up and hang out with people.
Do you recall of any like I don't know any events or things that you've did in Tombstone the first time that you really, really enjoyed? Anything that you remember?
Really liked when I went to the birdcage. Aside from the wall they put up, it's just like it is in the movie. I got to learn a lot of fascinating stuff. I got to see a lot of stuff firsthand. Um, you can go in there, you can see the Pharaoh table that, Wyatt and them played at. You got to go like up on the stage and behind it. You got to see the Black Mariah, which is like the fun thing about the Black Mariah is the it was built in my wife's hometown and shipped across from Western New York to Tombstone. And it's like there's only six made, and it's the last one that's intact,
Oh
and
wow.
it's the hearse that took like all the outlaws to Boot Hill when they died. So that was something she was super excited about. But that was the first thing that was super awesome. And what else did we do while we were there? Oh, uh there's like a museum that's like like the old like newspaper, the printing museum. That was super
Okay.
cool. Small, but the guy was very nice who ran it. They had a lot of cool stuff. Um, Back on my wall somewhere, there's a reprint of the wanted poster for Wyatt and Doc after the shootout, the OK Corral. A lot of good stuff there. That's where we got the Doc Holiday sodas, which were delicious. So if you're in Tombstone, make sure you get the Doc Holiday
Okay.
soda.
There seems to be like a lot going
Yeah.
on there more than there was in Deadwood. So
Oh yeah.
being able to go to this place and then already knowing some of the people there, I've already like booked the hotel and stuff. I still need to book the flight. Um, so I presume you already have all your kind of accommodation and things booked over in Tombstone.
Yeah, yeah. We got our hotel set. When we get closer, we'll book our flights. We're keeping an eye on them. We're keeping an eye on them and seeing like what the layovers and stuff are and the times. And then we have to, we'll book our rental and stuff. But right now we make sure we got a place to stay, and then as we get closer, we'll do the rest. Um,
Okay.
we'll probably like reserve like a car or something, and then do the pay later. So once we get there, we'll pay for it just to make sure we have something, and then that way, if anything does happen, we can cancel without any fees. If you're ever planning stuff, the book now pay laters are an absolute lifesaver because we've changed our hotel like three times because we did the book now pay later. So we keep finding like either better rooms or better deals, better locations because my wife's just on there constantly just seeing what's available. So yeah, we've changed our hotel like three times, and where we're at right now, I think we're saving like almost $300 after we changed it,
Oh
something like
wow.
that. So, and it's a real nice place. So it's not like we're staying at like some, you know,
Hmm.
whole ratty motel or anything. But and same thing with like the cars. We'll reserve a car, then we'll find, oh, this one's only like a few, like $30 more, but it's bigger and blah 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 blah. So it's usually how we do it, and we fine tune everything until we're ready to lock in, and then we'll get there. But yeah, we're constantly just always looking in and planning stuff.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to just look at a couple of more accommodations. Just as yourself, like I've booked, I haven't paid for anything yet, but
Hmm.
tell me a little bit maybe about when you were kind of doing more of your streaming. Um, so I've noticed that Rockstar actually used one of your outfits,
Hmm.
promoted it. I think it was back in November. Um, I could be wrong. And it was just their like monthly community outfit or something.
Mhm.
Um like how did you go about doing that one in
That
particular?
that that was dumb luck. I woke up one morning and I checked my phone and I had some Twitter notifications and someone tagged me in the monthly update and like, oh, and the outfit made by Brute VS. And I'm just like, what? I was like, that can't be right. So I tweeted him like, is that true? He's like, yeah, man, it's true. Like they used your outfit. And I was like, but I never did anything. Like every time they shared an outfit, it was always from like a Reddit post. So I thought there was like some Rockstar Reddit post and you put an outfit on there and they pick one or you submit it in some way. And I never did that. So um when I kind of do it now, I just don't have as much time, but on my YouTube channel, I tried doing like more content other than just uploading replays of my streams. So one of the things was I would do like outfits and I would do some like, oh, here's how to make like my Buster Scruggs outfit is my most viewed video on my YouTube. It's got millions of views and it's like 4 minutes long of how to dress up like Buster Scruggs. But like it's got like here's Buster Scruggs, here's Clint Eastwood from Pale Rider, whatever. And but I would just share my own outfits. So I'd make outfits that I liked and I'd put them on there. And one of them was what I called the Valentine Rustler, and it was just an outfit that I had that I liked, and I thought it fit Valentine, so I just made a how-to video for it. And I think I made that video like 2 or 3 years ago at this point, and they found it on YouTube and like, yeah, we're gonna use this, and they just picked it and they put it up there. Didn't say anything to me. I never got an inkling, and it wasn't until the newswire went up and I saw it, and I was like, holy shit. And then all those people like Dirty Tyler, Hazard, who do the monthly update videos, they're in there, you know, mentioning my name and stuff like that. I'm like, this is fucking bonkers, man. Like, I
It's
just woke up
awesome.
one day and now my name's coming out all these people's mouths and Rockstar's posting and tagging me in it, and I'm just like, is this real life? What the hell's going on?
Am I in a coma?
Yeah,
What
like,
year is it?
yeah, what year is it? What's going on?
That is that's so cool. I
Yeah.
genuinely thought you must have like submitted something on Social Club.
Nope.
That's
Not, I didn't do a thing. They just Rockstar, I don't know if they just go and search for outfits and they find
hmm,
something they liked, but they just found my YouTube video. They tagged that I think they mentioned the video or something, but yeah, they just found the video. They called it what I called it. And the only thing I didn't use is my outfit had the Arthur's ascot, but they didn't include that because it's probably because you have
a
to
limited
spend,
time item or something.
yeah, you have to spend like 100 gold to get it. So, or
Oh
whatever the hell
God.
Arthur's outfits cost. It's like 50 gold, 75 gold or something. I don't
Are
know.
you able to buy
So,
all the outfits now separately?
if you go
Um,
to Madame Nazar, you can buy Dutch's outfit, Bill's, Arthur, John, and Javier. No, not Dutch. Dutch isn't on there. I don't know why they
okay.
didn't put Dutch on there. But yeah, Dutch, Sadie, and Charles are the only ones that aren't on there. Everyone else is. So you can buy John, Arthur, Bill, and Javier's outfits from Madame Nazar for like
I
50
got them
gold bars or something.
from the Outlaw Pass,
Yeah.
so I just thought when the Outlaw Passes were over that that was kind of it.
Uh,
But
for some of them, like I said, like Sadie and Charles, yeah, but in Dutch for some reason, I got them. I didn't get Arthur. I came in late. I missed Arthur by the time I was playing Red Dead Online, but I got everybody else's. So
hmm.
once I put Arthur's in there, I had a whole bunch of gold and I had to save up a little bit more, but then I bought it. So, but yeah, they put some stuff in there. Every now and then they bring some stuff back from the Outlaw passes, but not very much, which I think is stupid because every
Hmm.
year they bring back the same Halloween Outlaw pass. So just like bring back the Outlaw passes. Like I missed 1 and 2. I came in
They
like right before 3 came out.
they should do it like kind of like have you ever played Halo or the Master Chief Collection?
I've not played Halo since Halo 3.
Oh God. But
Yeah.
with that they like kind of have like a battle pass sort of thing, but how it
Yeah,
works
yeah.
is you select which one you want to put your points towards.
Mhm.
So I think really they should just have all the outlaw passes just available there and just let someone just choose which one they want their XP to go into, and then just do them one by one, and they'd make
Yeah,
money off of it. I don't know why you like
yeah,
have these limited items and then just never re-release them at all. I think it's silly.
yeah. And not only that, but like years ago, like there's a lot of stuff in Red Dead Online that they put in there like content that they haven't released. Like people have like dug through and found them. There's like um Seth's in Red Dead Online, and they found his voice files. He gives you missions, and they haven't done that. There's a whole boat theft thing that you have to do that's in there. And they took a bunch of the clothing items, and like each one's got like five new colors and stuff. Like they took stuff that's in the game and like reskinned them. And if they just took the clothing, reskinned them to different colors, and then gave them to Gus and like, hey, you have to hunt 5 deer and 2 bear to get the shirt. I would grind all freaking day for that shit. It would give me something to do. And it just drives me crazy that they don't. And if you want to make more money off it, like you said, it's do these passes. Like take
Mm.
those shirts, take the guns, and take whatever, take horses, take saddles, just take stuff and put new skins on them so they look different, and charge me $10 and have me unlock it, and like I'll do it. Like whatever it is, man. Like I just want new stuff, and but it's what it
Right,
is.
I think like GTA has a lot to answer for, but uh, I don't know. I think a part of me kind of hopes, right, that the reason they abandoned Red Dead Online was to put all of their focus into the next Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, they
But
did, 100%.
so
They
I
even
I
said they did.
I hope that like it's a good online when it comes out, but given how Rockstar have been the last few years, I'm very cautious.
I I'm sure GTA 6 will come out and it'll be great, and it's going to smash records. It's going to shut down the world. Like everything's going to be closed the day GTA 6 comes out because everybody's calling in. No one's
Mm.
going to work. No, me personally, I do not care for GTA 6. I don't like playing like modern video games very much. I haven't really played GTA since GTA 4, and even then I was like barely into it. Um, when I was the games I played the Medal of Honor. Like Medal of Honor was like one of my favorite
Mm.
games. Like I played Medal of Honor, I played Gun, stuff like that. So I was never
Call
like
of
in.
Juarez. You ever play that one?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Call
Call
of
of
Juarez
Juarez.
Gunslinger. Gunslinger is such an underrated Western game. It's so fun. It's action packed. It's
I
comical.
think that's the one
Like
I
it.
didn't play. I
Oh,
played the
dude,
first
no.
one and then the one with the two brothers. I
Yeah,
don't think I played
Bound for
Gunslinger.
Blood. Yeah, you need to
Yes,
find it's its own thing. It has nothing to do with that story. You just play as a gunslinger who walks into a bar, and you're telling story, like these people are asking you stories about all your stuff, and you're like telling tall tales. So like you'll play the game and you'll do stuff with like Billy the Kid and Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid and like all this stuff, like all these famous outlaws and stuff, but they're all like tall tales. So you'll be telling it, and some kid will be like, "I heard you took out 30 men," so you'll take out 30 men, and then he'll be like, "Well, what actually happened was," and then it'll rewind, and then you'll play what actually happened. It's so cool, man. It's fun. It's the graphics are great, the gameplay is great, the upgrades are great. Um, I think anyone who's a Western fan needs to play Gunslinger. Like it's got replay value because it's just so fun, and there's a lot of stuff to unlock. It's hands down like top five. It's like the Red Dead games, Gun, and then Gunslinger are like the best Western games.
I definitely have to try that out. I think it's on Xbox. I'll have to. I might
Mhm.
have it. It is on Game
Yeah,
Pass.
I don't know. I don't know if it's on I don't think it's on Game Pass, but you can buy it on there. I think it's like $20 or something. It's an older Xbox 360 game,
Hmm.
but totally worth it.
I'll definitely give it a try. Um, yeah, I mean, like for community wise, like I kind of started off with GTA, so Grand Theft Auto has kind of always had a little place in my heart. But at the same time, like, because I do kind of my own story videos,
Mhm.
and I was a massive fan of Red Dead Redemption 1. Red Dead Redemption 1 is the first game I ever 100%ed because I loved it that much and did it legit. as well for the most part. Um, and going into Grand Theft Auto 5 and then next gen, and when they added the Rockstar editor, and I was able to actually make these stories and things, I wrote it in a way that like I wanted to, because Red Dead Redemption 2 was coming out, and it was like I want to tie it into Red Dead 2. I want there to be this whole thing. So like it was like a biker gang story, and my character is this like old Vietnamese guy, um, who the guy who like saves him in the Vietnam War, who's this like ex-Marine. It's like, well, his father ran this group in the Wild West, and he hands him down this golden revolver. And that was kind of the
Mm.
first initial writing. I didn't even
Yeah.
know where I was going to go there. I just knew he was going to be some Irish guy who had this golden double action revolver. Because when Red Dead Redemption 2 was coming out in GTA Online, they had this event where you got an email from Dutch Vanderlyn, and you had to go find these pieces around the map to get this golden revolver
Damn.
in GTA Online. And if you got it, and got Red Dead Redemption 2, Arthur would have this revolver at the at the start of chapter 2. Um,
Uh,
so it was kind of like a
that's
little
cool.
secret thing. But
Yeah.
I just used that, and then I wrote the whole story, and we did a little bit of videoing on Xbox because like we would have someone go in first person and they would record their screen. They basically be dedicated cameramen,
All
and
right.
they'd they weren't great. Um, then I kind of just started modding on my PC, and I just kind of started putting these stories kind of together, and it's come out a lot better. But it's kind of me explaining some of the events that I went through with the Red Dead Online community and some of the people I encountered. So it's kind of like my perspective, but through my character on the
Okay.
game, and it's been
No,
going
see
pretty
that,
well so far.
yeah, that stuff sounds great. That sounds amazing. Like that's taking something that you like, you enjoy, that you have a passion for, and you're putting yourself in it, and you're creating something with it. And that's a big thing about like Red Dead that you don't really see much anywhere else is the love in there that causes like so much like creativity. There's a lot of people who make the like video content, tell stories, create art. There's like so much stuff out there. Like it's fantastic. I love seeing it. Like, so I've seen some people draw like these fun little like web comics. I don't know, there's one with like Hosea's yelling at Bill for eating the pie or whatever, but yeah, there's just so much creativity, and I love how the cast like loves it too. And you always see like Roger or Rob and Roger and Mick and Steve like always sharing like everyone's art and stuff. Like, yeah, there's just so much creativity and great stuff in Red Dead because everyone's got some sort of connection to it. Everyone's got something connected to it, and people take that and run with it, and it's amazing.
I think it's just with Red Dead Redemption's story, everyone kind of has some sort of connection with either like John's story or Arthur's story. Like, you know, I don't know, it kind of just hits the heart a little bit.
Oh,
Um,
100%, 100%. When I was in Tombstone, um, I like telling the story because I think it's hilarious. But when I went to Tombstone, I was the second to last person to get in, to meet the cast because it was the last day. It was me. This is where I met Erica. Was in this line because she was behind me, and she always thanks me because the guy who came out to like cut off the line because I'm 6'5" and 400 pounds. He's like, okay, that guy, he's the end. And I'm like, wait, no. I was like, the girl behind me that you can't see, I was like, she's been here the whole time. Like, you got to let her in too. He's like, okay, so it's you and then her, then everyone, it's done. So she is like, oh, thanks for being enormous. So the guy remembers, like, I can get in. Um, she didn't say it like that. She would never call me enormous. She's probably going to yell at me when she sees this. Like, how could you say I said you were enormous? And why did you do that voice for me? Um, so I get in, and it was the last day. So we only had X amount of money left. So I had to see Steve. So I saw Steve first because me and him have the Central New York connection. And I was like, I got to see Mick because Mick has been super cool with me. He was the first guy to follow me on Twitter. He's the first guy to like interact with me and stuff. He was such a great guy. I was like, we got to meet him. So I wanted to see Rob. Uh, So we're trying to like get around to get in Rob's line, and we kind of get there. We're standing there, and I hear some guy go, "Are you here to see Ben?" So I turn around, and I'm standing right in front of Ben's table with nobody there. Ben is exhausted. He's like on hour 50 of the weekend, and he's just sitting there looking up at me with these like big puppy dog eyes. And I'm not going to say no now. I'm not going to be like, no, I want to see Rob. So I just went, yes, I am. I'm here to see Ben. So I saw Ben instead of Rob. And so at that point, Ben's like, no more photos. I'm too tired. I'm just doing autographs. I want to get this done so I can go home, which is completely understandable. Like they were doing like 13, 14-hour days because so many
Mm.
people showed up. So I was like the last one in. So I was like, no problem. I got an autograph from him, and did I get an autograph from him? Yeah, okay, yeah, I got an autograph from him.
Oh, you
So
got
I
him
got an
on the
autograph
wall
from him.
there. Nice.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got the Tombstone ones, and then I got the Deadwood ones. They're framed up and on the wall. I bought a
Got
stack
mine.
of cards.
Right.
In oh yeah, there they are.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
right there.
yeah.
Go
I
ahead.
bought a deck of cards in Tombstone, so I had everyone. I was getting people from the cast to sign the cards that I got in Tombstone. So I had Ben sign the King of Diamonds because I thought that was very Dutch, and then Mick signed the Jack of Diamonds because of rye whiskey. But so I'm talking to Ben, and I was just like, I didn't want to be that guy, but when I played Red Dead 2. I related a lot to the part where Arthur was feeling like left out and betrayed, and he was like watching his relationship slip away. That hit really hard with me, especially at that time, because I was losing a lot of relationships and I was feeling very left out and replaced. And that hit really hard. And then when my dad passed away, um, we had a very complicated relationship, like Arthur and Dutch did, and I saw a lot of my relationship with my dad and Arthur and Dutch. So I started telling Ben this, and I was like, "Hey, I was like, I don't want to, be that guy, but I just want you to know that when I played Red Dead, when my dad passed away, westerns was like our thing. So playing Red Dead made me feel connected to my dad, and like we had a very odd relationship like Dutch and Arthur did. So I would see a lot of that in there, and like it just meant a lot to me like seeing that stuff. And like I got like a little teary-eyed because I'm talking about my dad and stuff, and I'm talking to Dutch about it, and he just I could tell as tired as he was, like he really appreciated it. So like I told him, he's like, oh man, that's great, thank you for sharing that, and blah blah and all that, and just like shared that moment with him. And so, like, yeah, everyone's got some sort of connection to it, and it just, you know, hits home and runs with it. And that's why the game's so great. There's so many people, so many stories, so many emotions. There's something in there that someone's gonna latch onto, and they're gonna be like, That's me. That's how I feel."
You know one character that I always felt like, but no one kind of, I don't know, everyone preferred playing John, but a part of me kind of preferred playing as Jack a little bit
Hmm.
because I always felt like this young kid that was an outsider, didn't really know many people, no one to really kind of, I was kind of like by myself, like a lone wolf in a way. So it was like by the end of the game when like everyone's gone and then he just puts on the hat and then just goes on and
Hmm.
just does one last mission. I remember even I played the game for ages and I never knew that side mission was in the game towards like the end of my like
Hmm.
playthrough. I was there playing like a lot of the side quests and then this one popped up in Blackwater and I was like, I don't recall seeing this before. It might have been my second or third playthrough of Red Dead and then I was like, holy shit, I'm going after Edgar Ross. It was so cool. It was the
Yeah,
such an amazing scene.
yeah, yeah. I feel I'm kind of that way with Bill. Um, I think Bill's the one who I relate to the most, and a lot of people are very quick to shit on Bill and like call him a piece of shit or a this or a that, and that kind of like is why I always connected to Bill being the big dummy that everyone like is hard on, and he just wants to be accepted. He wants to be is treated like he's as good as Arthur, as good as John, and he tries hard, and when he does well, nobody says anything, but when he messes up, everyone gives him a hard time. And I connect with Bill real hard. Like whenever I play a game, if there's a big bearded dude, I usually latch onto him because that's me. Um, there's not a lot of big big representation in a lot of stuff, you know? Like growing up and especially now, like if I wanted to dress up for Halloween, my options were obese gladiator or Fred Flintstone. Like those are the only costumes I could get. And I can never cosplay as like anybody because I got this huge beard and no hair. You know, I remember one time I dressed up as the Punisher and someone goes, "Oh, why didn't you dress up for Halloween?" I go, "I'm the Punisher." And they're like, "Oh, well, you always look like that." And I'm like, "All right, fair enough." So, like, I don't, there's not a lot of stuff out there. But when I dressed up as Bill at a recent Comic Con, everyone's like, "Hey, you Bill Williamson?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like, they got it. Like, I looked like Bill. But his whole thing of just wanting to be accepted and no one give him any credit, and it hit real hard with me. And so I always like really latch on to Bill. I like really like dive into um like his stuff. And I think I see him different than everybody else does. Everyone sees him as like an idiot, or some people like say he's a racist, or you know, all this other stuff. And I'm like, I was like, I never really got like racist out of him. But like because like he fought in the you know the French and Indian War or whatever, and or whatever war it was. And he's like, "Oh, I saw things and he didn't like it. He didn't like what happened. He didn't like what he saw in the war. He didn't like the things he had to do, but he had to do it, and he wanted to be a man, so he did it, because if he didn't do it, he wouldn't be a man," and stuff like that. So yeah, I always like uh try to like stand up for Bill because I feel like he deserves it, but people are very quick to dismiss him in all sorts of way. And I've gotten yelled at, like, "How could you defend someone like him?" I'm like, "Well, here's why." "No, you're crazy." I'm like, "Okay, I'm sorry."
Sorry for liking a fictional character.
Yeah, right.
No, but
Silly me.
I wanted to actually ask now that we're kind of on that topic. So, with um the videos I'm making at the moment, I briefly asked you when I was asking you to come on the podcast, but you wanted me to kind of clarify a little bit of it. So, in my next episode, there's meant to be this whole battle at Fort Mercer,
Mm.
and it's going to be like my gang fighting off whatever other gang, but it's meant to take place like a day or two right before the events of Red Dead 1. So like Bill Williamson's gang is there, and then like whatever's going to happen to my gang afterwards. I won't spoil it, but I was going to ask if you wanted I could try and like recreate some of the irregulars characters and
Mm.
maybe like have them in there in the fort um just defending Fort Mercer.
Oh
Um,
yeah, that'd be great. That'd be awesome.
yeah, I'd like
Yeah,
it
I'd
wouldn't
love this.
be anything like crazy. Like
Yeah.
I'd be able to like kind of briefly recreate a character and then just kind of spawn them in and
Mm.
then like just give them a rifle and start shooting
Yeah.
over like the side of
Oh,
the wall.
then by all
Um,
means, yeah, that'd be great. That'd be cool.
maybe I could have your guy fighting next to Bill or something. That'd be
Yeah, there you
yeah,
go.
I could do that. That'd be
Yeah,
cool.
that'd be
Um,
great.
yeah, if, I don't know. I'll check over some of the streams to see like people's characters. But like as you said, like you've made like a gazillion outfits. So I don't know if there's a specific outfit for the irregulators or not, or is it?
No, no, it's just everyone just kind of wears their own thing. I like to dress my guy up in clothes that I actually own. Like I like
Right.
to dress as like how I dress when I dress up in my outfit. So um right now the way my guy dresses is probably how he's gonna look the most with the striped shirt and the orange brown pants. That's like my favorite outfit to wear. But yeah, I just try to wear stuff that I actually own because it makes me feel more immersed into it when I do that. So
Hmm.
I'm currently like building up and fine tuning my Wild West wardrobe. So I would like to start making like actual video content soon. I don't know what's going to happen to TikTok. I don't know if that's getting banned again or not, or if it's going to
Did it
go
not
on a
get
month by month basis.
unbanned? Or I swear they banned it for like 6 hours or something, and then they
Yeah,
brought it back into the US.
it got banned once, and then it got um it didn't get saved, but it got an extension, and it was supposed to get banned again on yesterday, but I think it got another extension. So I don't know what's going on with it. It's banned. It's not banned, but I'm currently like trying to redo my garage. I just built like a saloon. I'm building a saloon out there in like
Oh,
the corner.
nice.
So I just built like last night. When I'm done with this, I'm actually gonna go work on it some more. But like I built a saloon bar out there, and I got like I'm gonna put stuff like my spittoon and all the stuff out there. I'm gonna paint the walls like an Adobe color and things like that. So once I get that up and going, I want to like make actual videos and put on YouTube and TikTok and stuff. Um, so it gives me more of a reason to wear my out my wardrobe and stuff, other than going to Genesee Country Village or waiting to go to Tombstone and things like that. I would love to make like mini movies, like mini Western movies, but I don't know. We'll see how
S-
that goes someday.
Speaking of mini Western movie, I did actually when I had Ken on, I had the idea, but I didn't um I didn't really have like a plan or anything. But I did say it to him, like, you know, what if like, we're going to these locations and we have all these actors, and if it's not too much of their time for like little cameos, like if someone came up with like a little short movie or something, um everyone dressed up and just I don't know, I think it would be a cool idea, but it would definitely take a lot to arrange.
Yeah, it'd be a cool idea, but that would take a lot. I know. I think I know a lot of them like probably wouldn't want to dress up like that. Um, uh, and Lord knows what contracts and money that takes, but Um, I mean, something that'd be cool. Like I said, Roger and I filmed a little fun something, but that was like just a personal home video thing. But um, I just think like even if you take that out, I think if you're in a setting like that, like it just begs for a mini movie, a mini series or something to promote or something like that. Um, one of my big regrets from Tombstone um, is, and I kind of fudged it up. When I went to Deadwood, I was like, I'm going to take more photos. I didn't take as nearly as many photos as I thought I did in Tombstone. So I'm like, at Deadwood, I'm going to take more. So I did take more photos, but I took photos of things and sights. I didn't take photos of like moments. Like I took there's
Hmm.
some group photos we took and stuff like that, but like I never got a cool photo of me dressed up like, you know, in Deadwood doing stuff. Like I saw a lot of people posting really cool shots of them like, finding an area that kind of looked still Western and doing stuff. Like I was in Saloon 10 for crying out loud. I never got a freaking photo in there. And stuff like that. So in Tombstone this year, like I definitely want to get actual photos of doing stuff, like memories, so I can look back. I'm like, oh, that was cool, and things like that. So it's definitely something that I want to do, and I would love to make like little, like fun little clips of like people having a shootout or stuff like that, just doing like a fun little like Western thing. So yeah, I think stuff like that would be cool.
I wonder what the rule would be, or the law to like filming in the street. I wonder who you'd have to ask for permission in Tombstone. I might
Yeah,
look
I
into it.
guess. Yeah, I guess it depends on what you're doing. I think if you're just like filming like a TikTok or something, I don't think anyone's gonna care. But I think if you're trying to do some sort of like production in there, and then, you know, it's probably as long as you don't cause a scene or well, not cause a scene, but get in people's way. They're probably not really gonna care.
Hmm.
It's hard to do when so many people walking around, but I'm sure as long
Yeah.
as you're not like fighting in the street and then you tumble into some family and knock over the kid, you know, probably not gonna care too much.
All right.
Especially this day and age with social media and influencers, everyone's filming something. That's another thing. I hated being that guy with my phone, just being like, "Oh, look at all this stuff," and I just felt like, why is that large man always trying to film shit?
Do you have any upcoming? You mentioned that you're making your garage into a saloon.
Mhm.
Um, so do you have any upcoming projects, maybe besides that one, like maybe on YouTube or
Kind of. Once I'm done with this, one of the things I want to get into is leatherworking. and my
Okay.
wife got me a leatherworking kit for Christmas, and now I got space. Before this house, I lived in a very small apartment. We did not have space for anything. But like my saloon is also going to be like my workshop and stuff. So, um, I'm going to start out
Kind
small.
of like the chicken coop that Rob has, sort of thing.
Yeah. Yep,
Yes.
exactly. Exactly. It's what my wife said. She's like, "Oh, you're making like your own chicken coop." And then someday, I would also like to get like a shed and put it in the yard and turn that into like a cabin and do stuff in there. So, um, I'm hoping to expand and make this little plot of this little house, this my little yard, Big Iron Ranch, and just have all sorts of stuff going on with it. Um, but I'm gonna try filming myself making a poke, because I just saw a video. I don't know if you watch Arizona Ghost Riders on YouTube with Santi,
No,
but
but I'll check them out.
yeah, I love him. He does like 6 7 minute long videos, but he works at Old Tucson. So when we go to Tombstone this year, I'm taking a trip to the Old Tucson studios to check that out. I would love to meet Santi. He was at Tombstone Redemption on but I missed him. He was there for one day and I did not get to see him and it broke my heart. So I was hoping he was gonna go this year and I'd get to see him, but I'm gonna go there. But he posted a video about a poke, just a leather sack that you put your coins in. And it looked real simple to make, and I had all the tools for it. So I just went and bought some leather yesterday. So I'm gonna like film myself making the poke. Um, Last year I bought, well, in Deadwood I bought Pearson's stew seasoning, and I filmed Ma and I making it and
Mm.
eating it, and then I lost all the video, and
Oh no.
yeah. So one of my very close dear friends, Miss V in the Irregulators, she sent me on one of her seasoning packets because she had more than one. So she sent me one. So I'm gonna film us making that again once our kitchen is finished. Um,
Mm.
that so I'll be filming us making Pearson's camp stew again. And then those are the two things like coming up. Hopefully I'll be doing more leather stuff. Hopefully once the saloon is up, I'll be able to film little things. But yeah, I'm hoping like YouTube and TikTok to start having more content of like me doing Western themed stuff and uploading it. Um, Same thing when the weather gets nice, I'm gonna redo my fire pit and do like campfire stuff. So there's a lot of stuff I'd like to do. It's just, I'm just working on getting everything set up here.
Awesome. Well, look, I won't keep you for too much longer, but Brew, I really appreciate you coming on and being able to chat and be a guest on this podcast.
Well, absolutely. Like I said, thanks for having me. I have the gift of gab. I love talking, and I love talking Red Dead. I love talking Wild West, so I appreciate it. I had a blast. Thank you.
Really happy that you got to come on and tell a little bit about yourself and the whole Tombstone events and your YouTube channel.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, best of luck with the saloon.
Well,
Um,
thank you.
Pour me a beer when it's done.
Will do.
Uh, all right. Thanks, man.
Yeah, you're welcome. Take care, man.
Hello, everyone. This is just post editing Wilkie here. This is just a quick message to the members of the Irregulators. For the members of Brute Squad within his Discord server that would like me to include their character within my next Sons of War video, I'd just like to clarify a couple of things. The outfit changer mod that is being used to create these custom characters lacks some features from Red Dead Online's customization, such as facial textures. For example, things like scars, makeup, freckles, etc. I won't be able to include those. But if you can send me a DM with a picture of your Red Dead Online's character, I'll do my best to recreate them. Anyway, that's pretty much it. See ya.